Right, Shalom. First, I'd like to give all praise unto Yahweh Shem Yahushai, and double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and honors to you brothers out there in the highways and the byways teaching this word in all sincerity and truth. And this is going to be a quick news roundup. Basically, the narrative continues. The battle between the so-called nationalists and the globalists. The New World Order crowd, which what you're gonna find out is these nationalist leaders are actually part of the Hegelian dialectic and are puppets playing their role. Are gonna be there to be blamed for the fall, into chaos of the world, and their followers, you truthers and patriots and other people who are enemies of the New World Order, are going to bear the brunt of the force of the state, and that's what's being set up before you. Okay. This is from express.co.uk. It says this is a funeral. Le Pen predicts the end of the EU as she promises Brexit referendum. So you had the Brexit referendum, which was pushed. Ultimately, it was allowed to happen by the elites for their purposes, and we can see that the elites are controlling this process, which is exactly why it was a referendum, which is a advisory referendum. It's not even binding, i.e. meaning the actual leaders of Britain, elected leaders of Britain, do not actually have to actually exit the EU based upon a referendum. It's advisory. In fact, the House of Lords can overturn that referendum as well, which that was in the papers recently, and they're still stalling on the actual Brexit. The reason why it's stalling is because it's all being controlled by the elites. Whether Britain does exit the EU or not is down to whether it fits into the agenda of the elites, if it's part of their plan to bring in a new world order or not. Because right now they're running the show. The Lord has given them the power to do their will in terms of attempting to bring in this new world order. They're controlling all these puppets and whatever the case may be, even Trump. Okay. But you see here Le Pen, she's the Nigel Farage of France. Like I said, they're all set up. And what I want to zone in on is something that the president or president of the European Commission said. He said, expressing his regret at the historical Brexit vote, Mr. Juncker insisted the EU is not at risk, but he warned the next 12 months were a crucial time to deliver a better Europe, which is right. The elites have set something in motion which ultimately the majority of the people, or a good section of the people, are anti-New World Order and anti-globalism and are for nationalism. This cannot be denied. They've also set up these puppet leaders to lead. They always set up controlled opposition. Now they have to do something. They do have to orchestrate this thing and bring in this chaos. They have to bring the chaos in order to bring in their new world order. The new world order cannot be achieved without the chaos, and the game is such that there's a time frame on it. It's all about timing. So hey, like I said, we're close to the time of Jacob's trouble, when the elites are going to put this thing into high gear, and everything you see happening with Trump and Hillary and all this stuff, it's all part of it. It's all part of them preparing to bring in that chaos, that extreme level of chaos that's going to descend upon the world. Okay, because it's all connected. You see, they'll make it look like all these things are separate, but then when you look at it, it's all mental conditioning. It's all the Frexit, the Brexit, Trump. That's why, lo and behold, Nigel Farage, after the Brexit, disappeared off the radar, claiming he retired, and then he pops up at a Trump rally. It's all set up. Okay. Then you have Hillary Clinton saying that Donald Trump is the godfather of nationalism, of extreme nationalism, and they're pushing out this vibration that Trump is behind all of these nationalists in Europe, and ultimately Trump is a friend of Putin. Well, use your brain. If you know that there's going to be a World War III, they're already setting it up between Russia and the West, and they're saying that Trump is a friend of Putin. That means that all Trump's followers are friends of Putin. What does that make them? enemies of the state. You see, it's all being set up, man, and people really don't see how it's related, because it's like a good meal. You seasoning it up, you preparing it, but people only gonna appreciate it when it comes out on the table, man. And this what's gonna come out on the table, man. It's gonna rush out on that table. All right, so that's that on that. We gotta keep our eyes open. Everything's being cooked up, leading up to the American election, during the American election, and after. That could be a trigger point for them to really go hard, man, to do something real drastic, to do something to usher in this chaos, and to forward their agenda. Because at the end of the day, let's get this, we can't forget this one thing: the elites, they got their agenda, but they also watching their back, because they know about Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, and they know about Yahweh Shai, and they know about the prophets, and they also know about the chariots. And the more chariots sightings appear, the more they fear, and the more they try and push this thing through. This is Revelations 12:12. It says, therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth ye have but a short time. Okay, he knows about Yahweh Shai, so he's gonna do what he gonna do, man. And the Lord's gonna allow him to do that, to usher in that time of great tribulation, man, that he may save his elect from it. Because ultimately it's all in the will and the power of the Heavenly Father anyway. Now I want to bring out this other article, which is semi-related. This is Venezuelan military personnel named to oversee food distribution. It says Venezuela named publicly 18 military commanders to oversee the production and distribution of food and basic goods in an effort to alleviate severe shortages affect the country. Now, a lot of people who don't live in a socialist country or so forth, a lot of you people in Britain, France, Europe, all over the world, you may look at this and think this may never happen to you, but believe you me, it's happened to you before, and it's going to happen again. Anytime a country enters into a state of extreme crisis, martial law is always declared. That's why built into all the constitutions of all the different nations across the world, you have something called Emergency Powers Act. In America, they got the FEMA executive orders. In England, they got the civil contingencies laws. In France, they got the same thing. In every country, whenever there is a great crisis affecting the country, they can declare an emergency, suspend rights, and the military take control. Okay, the government and the military come down with a heavy hand to get things under control, to bring order out of chaos, man. And that's what's going to happen. Okay, this what you see here, military controlling the food, is going to happen in America. It's going to happen in Britain. And guess what? You're going to have to take the chip in order to receive any food they got to give. You're going to have to take the chip. If you want some of them rations, just go research World War II rationing, World War I rationing. They issued rationing cards or rationing booklets. Now it ain't going to be no rationing booklet. It's going to be the chip. Okay, this is Daniel 12 and 1. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble such as never was since there was a nation, even to that time, same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book. So all these things you see happening in Venezuela is just a taste of what's going to happen worldwide. But even what's going on in Venezuela right now is nothing. Because guess what? Venezuela are still receiving certain goods at them ports. There's going to come a time when it's what's happening in Venezuela. Even in Venezuela, they're going to wish to go back to these days. Okay, it's going to get crazy. They're going to have to be shooting people in the streets for real, by the thousands. Okay. Right, so that's the point on that, man. The time of great tribulation is going to come down on the face of the earth, man. Okay, and that's that chaos. And hey, it's soon. You can see it developing, you can see it cooking up if your eyes are open, and you can see what's popping out here. So now is the time, if you're an Israelite, to put your faith in Yahweh Shai, man, and return unto the Father, because what's about to go down out here. See, a lot of these people, they don't know how to put the dots together. You know, they're children of the night. You're supposed to be a child of the day, and if you're a child of the day, you ain't caught up in this Hillary Clinton Trump stuff on a certain level. A lot of people are buying into this. Oh, Trump is for real. He's not for real. He's a puppet, and if he is a puppet, that means there's an agenda behind what he's doing. And ultimately, we already know where what their goal is. All right. So with that, I'm gonna say shalom.